Well, the lockers, the long hallway, the bell ringing before class, this really takes me back.
Yeah, me too. And we're betting that these hallways at Bryan Adams High School in Dallas take you back too, even if you didn't go here like Bob did.
That's right. Today, Kelly and I have come back to my alma mater to talk about a very important subject. Teachers.
Their hard work and sacrifice changed the lives of people they may never see again.
Or they could change the lives of two people that they can see on television every week. We probably wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the hard work and sacrifice of two incredible teachers we had.
And we'll tell you all about them if you just hop in and travel with us. I'm Kelli Phillips.
And I'm Bob Phillips. And this is Thank a Teacher, a special edition of Texas Country Reporter.
As a bell signals the start of a new day at Gregory-Portland High School, room A116 becomes a stage.
He is eating sushi over a few beers with friends.
Here, students stand in the spotlight cast by hundreds of trophies in front of an audience of their peers. But there's no one that they would rather impress more right now than drama teacher Charlotte Brown.
Make sure that the finger does on the click, okay? We start in August hunting material for speech tournaments. We go to speech tournaments from August, the end of August, until February. I expect a great deal, and many, many students cannot hang with me.
Your father is a Han Solo action figure.
Because they think when they sign up for a theater class, oh, we're gonna get in there, we're gonna play all day, it's gonna be so much fun. As soon as they find out what all they have to do, the line will start to form down by the counselor's office, and only the cream of the crop usually stays. Pick yours up right where we left off the other day, okay?
I might have used too much poison.
Now, Charlotte may run the drama department with an iron fist, but that's only because she's looking for the most dedicated actors.
She's not nearly crazy enough for what she's gonna do.
After all, as a 7-time state champion and 43-time district champion, it's safe to say she knows how to bring out the talent in her students. And no one appreciates that more than, well, me. Charlotte, it's been a long time since we've seen each other. What, a few years?
I'd say so. I kind of let the years all blend together. So when I look at you, I kind of think, well, let's see, it might have been a couple of years ago. Oh no, it was, dear God in heaven, it was in the 80s. But you haven't changed at all.
I loved being on stage and turning into somebody else.
The play we won state with when we did Noises Off, and she plays this Cockney maid that was the wildest creature you have ever seen. And here is this beautiful girl playing this part, and everybody thought I was crazy to have her play the part. She was hysterical in it. Can you do any of your lines?
Mm-hmm. Ow! I ain't done nothing wrong by speaking to the gentleman. I'm a good girl, I am.
That's right, you can still do it. That's amazing.
Love that.
I love it. Some things never change. A school hall is always a school hall, and they always smell the same.
That's true. Well, I guess there are just some things you never forget, especially from your favorite teacher. And as Charlotte and I reminisce about the past, curtain call draws near. The annual state theater competition, known as One Act Play, is in just a few days. And tonight is Gregory-Portland's last dress rehearsal.
It's a place that you are secure in what you're doing. And the one thing when you're on that stage, no matter what problems you've encountered, when that curtain opens, let's say you have a slightly funny line, and you hear that audience laugh, that's better than any drug that you could ever take, because that is the sound that you go for. That's what it's all about.
What's the one thing that you try to instill in your students?
Kids never know how far they can go. If anything, they've always been given limits. And that's the one thing I always want to do, is try to show the kids there should be no limit on their talent. They're limited only by how hard they're willing to work. For some of them, it's like giving them wings and they fly. That was perfect. 3907 we can live with.
Throughout her 50-plus years of teaching, Charlotte's had lots of students return to tell her about the role she's played in their success. And that's what got me wondering, just where would I be without Charlotte Brown?
I don't know where I would be. I'd probably be stuck behind a desk somewhere in the most boring job in the world.
I cannot imagine you stuck behind a desk, because of all the kids that I've taught over the years, you were one of the most motivated to excel.
You brought things out in me I didn't know I had.
I think you were basically a shy little girl, a shy, beautiful little girl, and I knew that if I could inspire you to not be shy, that we could really have something. That's what a teacher is supposed to do, along with everything else that reminds me of you, because this is what it's all about. It's not about the ocean, it's about you.
Along with everything else.
Someone once said that a mediocre teacher tells, a good teacher demonstrates, and a great one inspires. Charlotte Brown spent more than half a century pushing and motivating students to be more than they ever thought possible. And as each one graduates from Gregory-Portland High School, she's happy knowing that she helped them set the stage for a better life.
Every year I say it'll probably be my last, but I don't know. Then I start seeing this, there's this one kid, oh my gosh, this kid is so good. Well, maybe I ought to stay just one more year. There's something about working with kids and watching the changes that you can make in their lives on a daily basis. And that's, it's very addicting. It's very addicting.
Wow, teaching for more than 50 years. Now that's dedication.
Well, coming up next, Bob finally finds the teacher that changed his life.
You better believe she did. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Thank a Teacher, a special edition of TCR.
The year was 1969, and a tall, skinny, black-haired kid named Bobby Leon Phillips was a senior here at Bryan Adams High School in Dallas. I only had a few months left until graduation when a brief statement from my favorite teacher changed everything. I've never been able to tell her about that day until now. This neighborhood in North Texas is where we finally found Ann Voss, my high school journalism teacher. She was at Bryan Adams High School for just a few years before moving away, getting married, and teaching thousands more students in the rest of her career. Now you're Miss Gillespie. I have to get used to that, but you're always going to be Ann Voss to me.
Okay, that's fine.
47 years after graduating her class, I'm finally telling her what she did for me. You came up to me and you handed back an article that I had written for the school newspaper.
Oh.
You said, Bobby, what are you going to do when you graduate?
Oh.
And I kind of looked at you blankly and said I didn't know because I had no idea. And you said, I want you to go to college and I want you to major in journalism. And I noticed that you like to do stories about people. Maybe you should think about writing for a magazine or something. That was it. That was the end.
That was it.
You have no idea how those few words that you said to me all those years ago changed my life. Why don't you hop in and travel along with me?
I'm Bob Phillips.
This is Texas Country Reporter. Until Miss Voss gave me that advice, journalism was just an extracurricular activity to me. I had no plans for college, or to work at a television station, or to come up with an idea for a TV show. Of course, I got to do all of that thanks to this teacher. I found Miss Voss a couple of years too late for her to fully remember those days. Still, her love of teaching and loving heart came shining through. Do you realize the kind of impact that you probably had on a lot of people's lives?
No, but I'm happy to think they learned something from me.
I sure did. And I've just wanted to tell you all these years, thank you for what you did.
Thank you.
And I want to believe that the people who watch this show, this TV show's audience is very devoted to it. And I want to believe that everybody that loves the show would thank you also.
Oh.
Because of you getting me to do this, I hope that it's brought a lot of pleasure to people's lives. And that all started with being in your class.
I wanted to be a teacher, and I tried, you know. It wasn't just an idea, it was something I really wanted to do.
You did it well, and we thank you for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate everything. Corpus Christi is a city of all kinds of seaside sights and sounds. But inside the parking garage at the convention center,
Driver, your hands outside the window! Passenger, let me see your hands!
we stumbled upon a scene that, well, most tourists would want to avoid.
If you reach for that gun, we will shoot!
With guns drawn and handcuffs ready, this training session and competition is all in the interest of education.
Okay, watch.
And it's a place you're likely to run into school teacher Severo Perez, who brought some of his students to see this all the way from Dallas.
They're ninth graders. They want to be police officers. And I brought them here so they can see what's going on.
Okay, I need you to pass one of this. Guys, today we got a topic we're going to talk about today. Everybody have a nice weekend?
I don't teach math. I don't teach English. I teach criminal justice.
All those people here that want to be in law enforcement, raise your hand.
I'm teaching kids to work hard because this country doesn't owe you anything. You need to work hard.
Question number one. The question number one is that, read number one.
For the better part of 26 years, this former state trooper has been teaching criminal justice, first in his hometown of Donna, Texas, deep in the Rio Grande Valley, then moving to this high school in Dallas. Along the way, he's lost count of how many students he's taught, counseled, and molded into law enforcement careers all over the country.
I have a student of mine, 15 years old when I met him. He's 40 years old, and he's a supervisor in Washington, D.C. for the FBI. I have students in Office of Attorney General, it's a federal investigator, Border Patrol, U.S. Marshals, the Texas Department of Public Safety, Dallas Police Department. I got like 40 kids in the Dallas Police Department. I got people at Fort Worth in SWAT, Cedar Park, Austin, DeSoto, even small police department like West Laco and Mercedes in Edinburgh. The scenario is he broke into a house. I'm the complainant, and I called the police department, and I saw him, and they have to walk in and search the building for a suspect. Okay, just right there, be fine. Just go all the way down. We do this on a daily basis.
Police department, come out now. You will not be harmed.
I got nothing right here. I got an open doorway, possible blind spot right here. Wait for me.
Severo Perez knows no boundaries when it comes to training his kids. He's brought 65 students to this state conference, and he takes advantage of every spare minute to polish the skills of his elite teams of future officers.
Suspect laying on a chair. Come out with your hands up. Do it now.
Only thing is, this is not fun and games. It's not a lighthearted field trip. For Severo, it's dead serious, even if these kids are only 15 years old.
Put your guns down. Real life situation, somebody be going to your parents' house or your spouse and knocking on the door because you just got shot. And you know what's gonna happen? Every May, second week of May, you'll be remembered because you'll be dead.
From the Border Patrol, the Department of Justice, United States Navy, several police departments all over the country, even to the FBI, Severo's students are carrying badges and a passion that started in his classroom. But Severo never forgets feeling the cold steel of police handcuffs.
I ended up in jail, and I was age 17. We're looking at a felony, and my father took me out of jail, and he said, and I always remember saying, "You're an American citizen. I came here illegally. I never been in an American jail, and you have. You have disgraced me."
How did that hit you?
Oh, it hit me. Really got me.
That had to be hard hearing that from your father.
He stopped talking to me.
What do they do now?
We do it again until they get it correct.
You guys ready to try it again?
Yes, sir.
It is a tight fraternity of criminal justice educators in Texas. But in those circles, Severo Perez is an icon, to say the least. For a man who's cleared so many hurdles in life, there is one that haunts him every day.
I do dialysis 3 times a week. Been doing that for 3 years. I'm on a transplant list. I know I'm gonna get a kidney one day, but if it doesn't, I think that's my destiny. I'll just continue until I feel it's no longer, it's time for me to stop working, but I can't. I love this kid so much.
I got first clear too.
Look at your blind spots.
Stop! Stop right there. Turn around.
These are the skills of America. The future of America is here. I mean, we have a wonderful military, but if we were attacked, the first responder would be police officers. Nobody thinks about stuff like that. And this is what I'm teaching kids. Okay?
It seems like Severo Perez knows no boundaries when it comes to passing on things like wisdom, hard lessons, and skills that could keep these kids alive somewhere down the road. His name is on a list, and even after 3 years, his hopes for an organ donor are still high. No matter, though, for a man who once wore a badge, this unlikely legacy in law enforcement can never be tarnished.
I love my job. And I think it's my job to help our kids and make America great. They are the future. Every kid in our country is capable of doing great things if adults would just spend some time.